Greetings and welcome. Come on in. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Wherever you are on the globe, if you're logging in live. Here on TikTok, this glorious October the 3rd, 2022. If you're logging in live, come on in, come on in, come on in. Somebody said thank you. Not sure. I haven't done anything yet, but you're welcome. Self-care is the best care. Absolutely. Self-care is the best care. But as you guys are coming in, I believe I put something in the title that says, you must know for yourself. And y'all know how it is. Okay. There's an upside and a downside to everything on this earth. I love technology and all of the advancements that we have because it helps us in so many ways. So many ways. Okay. But it can also become a source of information overload. One of the things that I've experienced and have figured out on this journey is that, yes, even though there are similarities, like for an example, you're on ascension path, okay? Whether you're resonating with labels such as Earth Angel, Starseed, none of that really matters, but you just know that your soul is here on an ascension path. You know that, you've confirmed that, you've lived that. And whether or not you resonate as someone on a twin flame soul journey, all these labels, right? And I get a lot of questions from a lot of people. And I see, all that information out there, and it can become a source of information overload. You see this in YouTube. You have all these different readers, and you get into these whole topics. Can karmics be yada yada? Absolutely. And I try to tell people this on a day-to-day basis, that this is such is life on this earth. This is the way it is. There's gonna be high, low, light, dark in everything, and in every arena. There's no escaping that. So because of the nature of society, anybody can do anything. Anybody can create anything. Anybody can say anything. Anybody can acquire a skill. These are things that are just a part of life on earth. This is why that statement, as you guys are coming in, it says, you must know for yourself. Everybody's got an opinion and a view, including me. But see, here's the thing. Every journey has something unique about it. We all come and chose to come here for different reasons, even in the ascension. Many of us are on different soul levels as well. This is not about a judgment and comparison. It's just, this explains why it's hard to get everybody on the exact same page and viewpoint. This is why it's futile to even attempt. Everybody's going to have a view about this twin flame journey and what this looks like and what it means and what twins do and don't do and what karmics do and don't do. And everybody's got a view on that. But see, you must know. And you do have to get to a point where you can care less about the, opinions of others. Because if you don't, it's going to be even more challenging for you. Whether this is to do with the twin flame journey, whether this is just to do with karmic versus divine energy, whatever we want to call it, light, dark, whatever, we must know. We must choose to embark on the journey to get into a place of being able to know. We must be willing. Okay, that's a part of it. Okay, but just listening to whether it's me or anybody else for that matter, I'm just going to keep it on a 100. I feel like all of that is a part of the distraction, if you ask me. Now, that's just my little lowly, humble opinion. But a lot of seeing readers go for bat with each other and all of that, I feel like it's a distraction. That's just me. It's a distraction to the greater matters here on earth, man. Like I said, as for me, my soul carnation, I stand for justice, period, man. I don't care if we were to take away every label that we think we know. I don't care whether you believe in twin flame journey or not. You think twins do this, karmic. I really don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, I am about justice. And also, I'm about understanding that once upon a time, we were not in awakened state. You guys hear me say this every so often. Or somebody say, hey, whoever say, hey, Bloomy, hey. You all hear me say that. And you know why I say that? Because, listen, I'm not saying that we've done as much malicious shit I'm not saying that divine beings have gone to that extent necessarily. Okay, that's not where I'm going. But I will say we've done some shit too when we were not awakened because we were in our trauma. Okay, listen to me. We were in our trauma. When we're in the trauma, I'm not making excuses for now, nobody on earth, y'all. I promise y'all this. Okay, including me. This is not about excusing people from doing some pretty fucked up shit and, taking them off the hook and they don't have to face. That's not where I'm going. I'm just simply saying that helps us to keep things in perspective. It's like, okay, because listen, we still carry this human jacket and we on ascension, and they call it spiritual egotism or arrogance, even if you don't mean it to be. But it's easy to forget that once upon a time you were asleep. Once upon a time you got abused, because chances are divine ones are usually carnating into abusive families. That's kind of the whole ticket. So you were in some kind of toxicity. You may not have been malicious and a lunatic, you know what I'm saying? It may not have been, that's the case. But when I say like our own darkness, like choosing paths that were hurtful to yourself, or allowing people to be codependent, or drug and alcohol addictions, or, everybody has a story even prior to their awakening. So to try to imply that karmics will do this, divine beings or twins won't do that, that's, in my opinion, that's not 100% fact. This is why I say you must know for yourself. It's dangerous to hand over that power. I understand that we do, when you're not sure, you have to kind of seek, but it needs to be sitting with you. It needs to, at some point, as you're seeking and seeking and seeking, because again, if we're just allowing people to tell us, then you're swallowing that and then you're making the decision on that. You see what I'm going? Oh, so-and-so said if it's a twin, then they don't do this. Or if it's a karmic, then they don't do this. And so you have to know, because guess what? They may not have carnated this lifetime with such an experience. And again, since we're in a dispensation that any and everybody can do and say anything, come on, we talk about this all the time. Any and everybody can. That's not the big deal on earth. Anybody can, acquire skill, any skill, if you put your mind to it. Anybody can create something, you know what I'm saying, if you put your mind to it. Everybody has a set of beliefs. So this is why I do the best I can to stay neutral, to be Switzerland. Because I feel like it's dangerous to try to give people a cookie cut. It's dangerous. Because it's easy to kind of mimic or assume or get into so much shit, especially once you discover the power and the weight of heavyweight dark magic. Once you have, come into the know of how far this could affect a person, including yourself, how far this can influence a person, then trying to cookie cut statements is you got to look at a whole lot of underlining factors on a case by case basis. Underlining factors on a case by case basis. And then, like I said, at the end of the day, y'all, if we take away all the labels, just take it all away, because this is what people get all of their chonies and a bunch about. Take it away. Just move it out the way. Fuck it. Move the belief systems, move the labels, remove the categories, and reduce it. This is what always helps me every time. Reduce it. It don't even really matter. What ends up mattering as we continue the journey is simply this. You have a right to enact your free will, period. You have a right to change your mind, period. You have a right to heal and journey on your terms, period. Just is just. Unjust is unjust. Malice is malice. Benevolence is benevolence. It's that simple. That's what it's going to come down to. At any stage and phase of life, if you are a fairly decent person or you're wanting to be, right? There's no cookie cut to that. It's up to us as individuals to enact that and co-create accordingly, period. I don't believe in the bullying energy on either side of this game, man. I'm about empowerment, free will, and justice. My stomach turns, at the thoughts and the realities of some of the malicious shit I am aware of. Okay? That's where I get in the mix, and then I go, I don't give a fuck about no goddamn label, no goddamn married, not married, kids, no kids. I don't give a fuck about none of that religion, belief system, none of that. For me, when it comes down to the nitty gritty, that's when people see a real tough side of me. Because it's like, look, get over yourself. My whole thing about this journey is like, look, not everybody, I understand. I understand there are some people that are thirsty. I get that. Okay? I understand that. I remember once upon a time in maybe my younger years and even my earlier phases of ascension, I understand. But I also understand now, where I am now, not everybody is thirsty, man. Whether people can wrap their head around that or not. Just because they, hear a reading or they'll see something, it's like not your actions. What you are doing on a day-to-day basis is going to determine whether or not you're a thirsty motherfucker. That's all I got to say about that. Thirsty has a panting, chasing energy. We've all been there. But that's not where I'm at. And my behavior reveals that, though. It's not something that I have to show or prove. It's my actual life. My behavior reveals it. If I was thirsty, I would be doing some of the very same acts I once upon a time did. Because I'm telling you guys, I can relate. If I was thirsty, I would be doing the things I did in my younger years and the things I did in my early phases of ascension. Y'all know what it's like. Calling, chasing, stalking, calling. Y'all know how it goes, because that's what? What is it? That's the thirsty. That ain't my get up. I say what I have to say and then I go, boom, drop. I'll drop it just like that. I wasn't always there, though. I wasn't. But I'm saying this because, like I said, information overload. There's a lot of readers. There's a lot of so-called whatevers. I mean, this is just the name of the game. Everybody's got an opinion. So as you guys are seeing when you come in here, this is why you must know. Because it's you. Reader so-and-so may not have no knowledge about your particular soul's journey. They may not have no knowledge. They themselves may not even be on a certain level of the soul's journey. So, not a slight against them. That's not where I'm going. I'm just saying you have to be the one to know, because they're going to be spewing out, which is what we do, based on our own framework and experience thus far. This is why, when we hear the statements as it resonate, but it's so used so much, I don't even think people are catching that whole statement for what it is anymore, because as it resonates, we don't have all the answers. And they ain't gonna like me for this, but look, this wouldn't be called a journey then for any of us. And I don't care how skilled, and hear that good, I don't care how skilled they are. I don't care if they've been in the industry since 1970. I don't care if they have come from all the lines of all the bad motherfuckers in the industry since whenever, bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, at the end of the day, we're so different. And it's allowance. We don't have to bully each other. We ain't got to beat each other. We ain't got to try to. I ain't into that. Now, I am into going in on crazy shit. Yes, I'm into that. I'm into going in on murderers and, weirdo shit, targeting innocent lives and fucked up shit, bloodline, fucked up crazy bitch. Like that shit, yeah. Y'all gonna hear me war. Y'all gonna hear that Harlequin come on out. Like, yeah, I'm gonna take it and then I'm gonna use it. And I'm killing everything, bitch, when this is over. All from my couch. But I digress. Outside of that, outside of like me really growling and standing for justice, because I don't like, the idea of innocent lives and people looking at human beings like fucking pick aparts. I have an issue with that. See, that's where y'all gonna hear me. I'm fighting to the death, bitch. I'm fighting to the death on that. But this other little silly shit, it don't matter whether we believe in this or that, twin flame this, soulmate that. I mean, we use those as indicators as we do anything else on earth, as we're explaining things and experiences and paths and things of that nature. But no matter what the journey, the idea is always about healing. Healing, balancing things out, alchemizing. And when it comes to any relationships, and I mean any, soulmate, twin flame, whatever the hell we want to put things in, is ideally, if we have been healing and ascending, we understand some type of laws of energy, laws of reciprocity, some type of a development there, maturity, because that's what's going to count. So hopefully we're still not engaging, whether we're considering this person to be some type of a twin, soulmate or not. If they haven't developed, it serves you well. It serves you well, because the journey is primarily awakening and ascension and dealing with those higher level contract issues before it's anything else. Before it's about, the other part is just like the icing on the cake. Ooh, let's be together and we're going to get together and, cool. Maybe. Just depends. It just depends on the get up. But we're not to be reinforcing the toxicities in which we have healed in ourselves. I hope this makes sense, because both sides have to go through that. And we're not to be in the name of love and soulmate and twin. And, it's like, okay, then if it is as you say, then you release them. Understanding that this is a choice. Ain't no Billy Club and hitting them over the head and saying you gotta be with me, bitch. Like that's the thirsty motherfucker energy. That ain't divine beings energies. You release them, understanding that it's their perspective journey to embark upon however they see fit, but you don't entertain nothing to do with a 3D union if they're not in their awakened state. You release them. That's simple. And you continue on, whether this is masculine or feminine. And I'm only saying that because I know we all get caught up in the labels. But y'all, dudes, you can't make nobody wake up and heal, man. You shouldn't even be trying to. We shouldn't even be trying to make people be with us. I'm not with that. And I know there are some people that, to each his own, man, but I'm not with that. I'm just not. I'm sorry. Because it's the undercurrent of manipulation. It's the undercurrent of slavery. So you saying I gotta be with a motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Like, if we think of it like that, it's like, oh, so I gotta be with a motherfucker. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Gotta stay. Who's behind the goddess? I want to investigate the goddess. And please take this even with balance, okay? Even this, take it with balance. Okay? Because, of course, we're not implying flighty and fickle and all of that, but you still need to be the determinant. If you're of a certain age in life, the goddess, that's belief systems, but the goddess. When it comes to romantic love, my view has changed tremendously. This should be a free will choice on both sides. Period. It shouldn't be where one is either being guilt-tripped into it, bullied into it, blackmailed into it, threatened into it. Like, somebody help me understand. I'm just being on the real. How are we possibly equating that to love? How? I'm fascinated at even how people in our framework, like some of us, because we've been so fashioned into toxicity to such a degree, that we look at some of this stuff as, ooh, it must be some for real love, bitch, because they threatening. Did you hear that whole sentence? That's called obsession, dear. That's called control, attachment. And I know we all have, we've been young, we all have done said stupid shit, but y'all know where I'm really going with this. I'm talking about people who, that's they get up, bitch. Like some people right now today, they got motherfuckers on chain, clank, clank, like, you bet not. It's like that bullying energy. Like, you bet not go nowhere. You bet not. You know what I'm saying? Divorce me. You better not, or I'm going to ruin you. You better not, or I'm going to take you for all what you got. You better not, or I'm going to fucking jump on whatever bitch you think you going for. You bet not. You know what I'm saying? Like, but do we hear that though? Just the way it sounds. Is there any element? I can hear pain in that. I certainly hear that there's pain in that kind of statement. There's fear in it. There's maybe some abandonment issues in it. I can hear all of that in that statement. Sure, I can certainly hear the pain. I can hear it. I hear the fear. But I don't hear love. And I'm not saying, you guys, that we don't feel or we don't cry or we don't get disappointed. That's not where I'm going either. But that's life. It's a part of it. You can feel deeply for someone and feel and believe and all of that. Great. But you can't make it be reciprocated, and you can't force something to work, or like you can imprison people with your bullying tactics, but it's not going to be quite what you wanted it to be. But this is why I'm going to always remind you guys, you must know. Whether you have a favorite reader you listen to, a favorite healer, Reiki, whatever your belief system is, because to me, it ain't about now none of that. Because you can go circle for circle, round for round, industry for industry, therapist to therapist. At the end of the day, you must know, because this is your life. These are decisions that are going to affect you, honey. These people going to go home and do their prospective lives. These readers, including me, everybody is going to be, their prospective lives, still doing the best they can for for their lives based on their frameworks and so forth. This is why I try hard to make sure I'm saying, listen now, this is supposed to be sharpening your own intuition, so that you're relying less and less and less and less and less. This should be confirming what's been screaming in your ears already, what's been showing up in your dreams, what your own guidance team has been trying to reveal. And then it's strengthening this, so you're relying less and less and less and less, realizing that you can cultivate and rebuild your intuition. And then you feel empowered, because now you feel like you can trust yourself. And now you feel like ain't somebody just telling you something. Yet another long line and list of motherfuckers telling you what you ought to do, which is, you see what I'm saying? You'll start to feel like, okay, finally, I'm taking control and power and authority over my life. And I'm doing something because I and my higher guidance system, not because so and 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 so. Because guess what? When it goes to kaput, then what happens? Just think about that. There are no guarantees. This is a journey. That's the way it is, y'all. We live and we die. Okay? Seasons will constantly change, cycles of life on earth, but that's all. We can have all the readings we want. Energy is constantly shifting. It's about consciousness. It's about choices that everyone that is involved in something is making constantly, that can shift something just like that. When we heal, as we continue to heal, you guys, it won't feel so, I wish I can have the words that I'm trying to find, the words that come out of my mouth. I'm trying to find the words. It doesn't feel as heavy. It doesn't feel as hard. After a while, you don't feel as taken aback by life's challenges or something didn't work out. Okay. It feels that way at first because we'll still be dealing with our traumas. Okay. But we may be disappointed. We may hurt. We may cry. We may have all sorts of feelings. But once we continue to work on this inside stuff, we'll start tapping into the self-soothing. We'll tap into love within. We'll tap into realizing that we're constantly creating. We'll tap into realizing that sure as shit, as you created that experience, as sure as shit, you can create another one. over time. It won't feel that devastating. We won't feel so attached. Like, oh my God, this must be the one forever. How many times, if you be honest with yourself and you look at your life, man, especially if you're older, and you look at your life, you be like, bitch, you done said, bitch, is bitch. You're like, shit. Release attachment. And listen, I understand, like myself, many of you have had hexes put on you, and that was a lot of what was going on, you know what I'm saying, majority of the time. So, but once we, start clearing all of that out, and even still, listen, it's all right. It's all right. Some stuff is meant to come and go. Some stuff may stick and stay. But all I can tell y'all is, sure as shit, you do have more power than you think. Oh yes, yes to hell, yes. You have more power than you think. Set your own intentions. Do your own due diligence. Practice feeling into your body. Practice feel. You see what I'm saying? Like getting a little bit out of the mind, in a sense that don't only rely on intellect, like the senses, the gut. See, all of that is a part of intuition. We're built with it, but it gets shot from abuse and shot, from conditioning and weirdo holes and shit. But when we start, breathe into that shit, like, deal with our trauma in our body, allowing to feel and breathe into it, right? You'll start to see and sense and know, okay. And some basics that helps us is just simply realizing that, okay, look, guys, we're on this earth and it's illusionary. Everybody's in different phases and places. Not everybody is of light. There are energies and frequencies and forces that don't want individuals to have a lot of liberation, because that lack of liberation is what's serving, some of these energies. But it's going to help you to just look at shit from a whole nother get up. Like, you're not going to just take shit at face value anymore. You're going to allow yourself to be fully present and kind of breathe and feel into shit. Not just the presentation before you, whatever somebody is saying, whatever their outfit is, whatever their label is, whatever their fucker, good or bad. Okay, but just sensing like, okay, this feels okay. Okay. And then setting intentions and like, okay, I'm gonna fill it out, and then I'm gonna enjoy the now, and then whatever unfolds, whatever, and then I'm gonna follow accordingly. All right. If some alerts come up, good. Okay, boom. I've learned something. I'm gonna kick in. I'm not gonna spend 12 weeks, 12 years, 12 months trying, banging my head over some shit. No, I spill into this shit. Oh, bye-bye, baby. Bye-bye, bitch. Next. You know what I'm saying? And then you just kind of start. You start feeling all right with that. And then if it's all good, you just keep it going again. And you go out on another date, or you hang out another time, and you sense and you feel into it a little more. You pay attention to what dreams you're getting. You pay attention to, instead of just, we be all lolly, we be like, la, 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 la. Y'all know how it is. Ooh, even when we're older, it's like, you better come out of there, because you finna to die, bitch. You better come out of there. They setting your ass up, especially if you land in the land of horrors. You better smell. You better you better smell what the hell is actually going on versus what they want you to think is going on. You better learn that. Because they're gonna have something good and fanciful for you. Okay, get you on over there. You heard me? And then you get bit by the Walking Dead. I'm sorry. You get bit, like, oh, bitch. Then got. Motherfucker done got. God damn it. I'm finna turn into the one of them the motherfuckers. Finna turn into the walker. Somebody, y'all laughing at me? Somebody said better read between your lines. They laughing at me. I'm just saying, no, yo. I guess I'm only saying it because from experience, I'm like, look, they gonna get got. I done seen motherfuckers get got. I'm serious. I'm telling y'all what I know. And you be like, oh shit, they done got bit. Oh well, that was nice knowing them. It's like they didn't got motherfucker. They done went to the other side and got to go. Oh shit. And you know what? And there's nothing. You just move on from it. I know that's easier said than done, but it gets easier and easier and easier and easier over time. Realizing like, what are you gonna do? Do you want to get bit? Like I started reducing shit. Look, cause whatever the fuck is over in that water, I don't know, bitch. I don't know. Cause all I know is motherfuckers wasn't the same when they got there. That's all I can say about that. You know what I'm saying? I think that type of place, the place that I come from, it challenges, you know, like I said earlier, either you start healing and awakening or you gonna get got. You finna get bit. You gonna get caught up. Cause it's like one of those towns, like it's a heartless town. It's heartless. So it's cracking the whip on people. It is driving motherfuckers. So either you're gonna do one of a few things. Okay, you're gonna find you some weirdo group society to do weird shit with. Okay? Or you're gonna get eaten alive, or you're gonna actually embrace your ascension, because that's where the real power is. That's where the real power is without needing to violate other lives. Okay? This is where you can rise above it, and this is where you can get the hell out of it. Okay? And I know I'm kind of bouncing back and forth here, but I just want to say, y'all, again, you have to know for yourself. With all due respect to people like me, with all due respect to, the world's greatest reader on earth and the world's greatest Reiki master on earth and the world's greatest church and the world's greatest this and the world's greatest that. With all due respect to all of that, still, at the end of the day, because it's your decision. It's your life. When you go home and you're sitting like scratching, squinting your eyes and scratching your head, they going to Disneyland. They out shopping. They out, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to bring perspective to it because we all have an opinion. But like I said, after they're sitting and telling you whatever. And I'm not saying that they're necessarily wrong, bad, evil. I'm not talking about just the low vibing folks. I'm just saying either way, it should be fitting with you because people go on to their prospective lives. They ain't gonna be sitting and sweating behind, oh my God, this person that is so not sure. Oh, hello, hey. They're so not sure on who their twin is. They're not going to be doing that. They finna go buy something, shit, bitch. They on to their next client, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Or their next person they finna pray for. Whatever. They ain't finna lose no sleep. They ain't finna have no breakdown, bitch. They ain't finna send no rescue ship for you and shit, bitch. They not finna do that. They ain't finna do none of that. They lying if they say otherwise. They're not finna do that. So this is why I say, whose decision is it? Is it possible we make a mistake? Sure. So this is why I keep trying to tell you guys to reduce things to basics. Because does it even matter? Are you happy? Are you not happy? Is something toxic? Is it not toxic? Are they abusive? Are they not abusive? Like, when we just reduce things there and then decide how we want to feel about it and what we want to do and how we want to proceed, period. Because it is your life, right? I used to make this joke when people used to talk to me. I used to be like, look, when folks talk to me about certain shit, come to me about shit, I'm like, okay. I'm like, you the one gotta lay with a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're good with that. Make sure cause see, this is you. Make sure you're good with that. You the one gotta lay with them. You the one gotta get up with them the next day. You don't want, this is you. This is you. This is you. This is your life. You're the one that's got to be behind the scene, which is where the real shit play out, versus in front of the scene, front for the church motherfuckers. Fronting for the Reiki masters and fronting for the image for social medias and whatever the else hell we're trying to impress. But behind them scenes, you're the one that's got to live with that. You got to live with the uncut version. You hear me? Society, groups, churches, social media get the victory reel, okay? But they don't live behind the scene with you. Extended friends and family, it's the same thing. They don't live behind a scene with you. And so if they have not lived behind the scene with you, they don't really know what the fuck the real lowdown is. Period. Period. And I don't care if there's 3 motherfuckers that's in their web and willing to co-sign and say the same shit to so-and-so. Fuck that. At the end of the day, if they're not there, because chances are if they were there, then this is when people shape shift anyway. They put on their face again. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Woo-de-woo. See how wonderful. Oh, hello. You know what I'm saying? They don't see when there's nobody around to impress and it's just you and that person, how you're treated. Okay? When there's an argument, where there's a disagreement, they don't see the monsters real, show their head. They see when the monster go high and they put on a good girl, good guy uniform again. And the performance, the tears. I'm so. And then when, the moment you do something that they don't like, or you ain't tap dancing fast enough for them or some crazy shit, bitch. And ain't nobody around to see them act a zip down fool. They're the monster. There it is. Rearing its head. And you'd be like, what? And then if you were to try to tell somebody, then they don't believe you. You see where I'm going? Because motherfuckers got on a good show. This is why I'm telling y'all, you must know and get okay with the fact that you're going to be accused. People are not going to believe you, because if you're dealing with professional narcs, professional sociopaths, psychopaths that have this good guy, good gal image that people are buying into, you're going to have to accept that they're not going to believe you and be okay with that and still decide what's best for you. Because your mental health, your emotional health, and in some cases, for a lot of us, our physical health depends on it. You must know. Okay? For you. Help yourself through the process and let go of all the labels that only creates further senses of confusion in you. Ask for that inner help, the higher guidance help. But you must know. And one of the things I had to do, I guess this will be a good piece of information. I want to say, where are we at? So about a year and a half, almost 2 years, then I'm going to say one of the guidances that came through, because I wasn't new, but I was still early and sifting through so much. And the information overload is, since that's what I'm talking to you all about, that can become a source of stress. And so I remember one time I was sitting in my car and the guidance came through, was like, you need to reduce what you're listening to. There are too many voices. And each one of these people have their own energy that you're sensing and feeling. And not all of it is relevant to you. You need to reduce this. And so when I listened to that, I was like, okay, I need to reduce. And so then I was given strategies at that time anyway, of how to do that. So I was given strategies like, look, stop vegging out on readings, because this is the beginning of a lot of the pain and trauma that I was going through at the time. And so I was told, like, look, this is only going to serve as more confusion and agitation. So don't veg out on readings. It's easy to do, especially when you're in pain and you feel like you don't understand. And yeah, that's understandable. But sometimes it's serving to get in the way. It's like, ooh, one more confirming reading. It's like, well, reduce it. So the strategy I was given at that time was to set an intention to be guided to one reader, and to get and listen to, if I felt guided to listen to one reading a day. And then since I myself was a reader and I was in training at that time, backing it up with my own and then dropping it. That's what I was guided to do when I was like getting my head. I was like, no. And it was like, no, you gotta, man, it's tempting. Redirect your energy. So for an example, I did that. I took that advice, but then I put structure. So there were other things that was put in place to help me, so that, when it was tempting, I was like, ooh, a reading, bitch. And it's like, no, because everybody's energies is different. And not everything is relevant. So I started getting busy. I started creating more. I started going on more walks. I started, different little projects. I did, different little things at that time so that I wouldn't veg out on one YouTube reading after the next or whatever the hell, right? Sometimes I was asked to get out, just go outside. Sometimes I was asked, even as a reader, I was asked, get up, put that down for now, connect, go outside, connect, just go outside, put your feet in the dirt, say something, hopscotch, bitch, connect with your body, like, come on, shake your energy, move, come on, let's get out of here, we got it, you're on it, we're helping you, boom, bitch, get on, so sometimes I kept getting redirected in that way, like, it's all right, do your part, it's all right, do your part, it's all right. So I started yoga, seated yoga meditations. I started creating different things. I would go outside. I would do projects. I would paint. I think I was drawing and painting and shit, bitch. I started doing different things. Somebody says, dang, I'm guilty of that, Bloom. It is entertaining. No, it is. See, this is the part. This is what I'm saying. So I'm admitting it. I was like, well, especially if you have an animated reader, okay, you'd be like, what? It's almost like TV, but it's unfortunately it's real life, but it's just like, this shit's happening, bitch. This ain't the show. But it feels like that. He'd be like, we got your popcorn. But like, see, I knew this. God damn it, bitch. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. You like, you know, says you be caught up. But like, I knew that shit, bitch. You heard me, right? But see, then it's like somebody says, but then some teach. Yeah, absolutely. I've seen some beautiful readers. I have several readers I admire, different flavors and styles. See, the drama ones I like. I'd be like, oh, and then I also like, the teaching ones where it's a little more calm, and then I like the ones that incorporate like the healing into it as well. It just depends on what my mood is. Cause the drama ones, I'd be like, I'd be like, yup. Yeah. The teach ones, I'd be like, oh, that's some knowledge. They didn't drop some knowledge, bitch. And then the healing ones, I'd be like, ooh, this is that quantum kind of healing energy where they're pointing you in directions, but they're bringing in some healing energy shit, you know? I like that too. Somebody says, yes, exactly. It's definitely about mood. Yeah, it is. It's about where you're at. And you invalidate that. We don't have to force ourselves. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? But if you feel like it's starting to serve as a stressor, because that's why my guidance had kicked in on me, because it has started to serve as a stressor. And they're like, no, this is counterproductive. You know what you need to know. We're revealing what the things at this time that you're ready for. Because what I notice now is my team allowed things in stages and phases. All right. Higher self, the higher versions of me, knowing me, right? Like, she can't know this yet. She can know part. Some stuff's, no, not quite. Mm-mm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we may have to get her out of jail. So we're going to need this to not be real today, bitch, till you know what I'm saying? Because she going to kill motherfuckers. She is going to be like, whoa. Oh, they want to do some shit, bitch. Just playing her own music and shit. She going to put her theme music on and shit, her outfit, bitch. And she going to she like, oh, they want to do some shit. How is this for an ending? Boom, blowing shit up everywhere. Oh, shit, motherfuckers coming out the windows, bitch. Oh, goddamn it, yes. She didn't kill this bitch. Yes, she did. Because you was trying to kill her and hers. And so, preemptive strike. Night, night, bitch. Night, night, bitch. Oh, so they was like, nah, let's get her out of here. Let's manifest her the fuck out of here, man. She'll know some truths about her blood. She'll know the real. She'll know the truth before she leave. But we're not gonna give it. We ain't gonna give it the whole, because we gonna have to get her out of jail. And we don't need that. We don't need that. Her head's gonna be gone. And not blink or stutter. It's gonna be like, did I stutter? You trying to kill me, bitch? Hey, nighty night. Night night for you. Somebody said, too funny, baby. Right? Anywho, I enjoy talking with y'all. Do the best you can, y'all, on your journey, but take your power back, man. Your life's choices and decisions. If you're an adult, and I'm not saying you can't learn and glean and listen to people, but you still take the power to decide what's fitting for you. What's fitting for you. You know what you went through. A lot of people didn't know that Tina Turner was getting her ass beat. This is my favorite go-to story, because her inside circle knew, because they were a part of the band and the group and so forth, until once he became more public. But it was a point where it was just behind the scene. that he was abusive that way. And so I'm using that as an analogy, like, people don't know what the fuck you really go through with folks. So it's like, stop caring because they heard this one tell this story and this one tell this story, other liars adding on to the first lie of the first lie, motherfucker. It's like, you know what you went through, what you go through. So stop giving a fuck. That's going to help you. That's going to empower you. That's going to make you feel stronger when you realize, like, I don't have to prove nothing. I don't need to get my ass killed before these dizzy bitches realize that I was being abused. I'm not finna go there. I'm not going to allow myself or my kids to get fucking killed or looking like a fucking accident or fucking die before these hoes realize this is a fucked up toxic motherfucker. I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna try to convince another motherfucker. They can mess around, wonder why they shit finna go to the left in a few minutes. Cause they fucking with them. They finna find out. It may take a while, but they will. I don't have time for that. Your life is worth preserving. And that means stop giving a fuck and trying to convince non-convincible motherfuckers the truth about what the fuck you've been through. Because some of them, they got them narrow ass minds and shit. They're stuck on 3D and labels. It's like, this bitch is toxic. And she crazy and she's a killer. Now, you can believe the hype if you want to. But I don't want nothing to do with you if you want something to do with her. Thank you. I'm good. I don't play with murderers. Okay? And I don't play with people who do. I don't play with that. You wants to play with dark witches and warlocks, you need to stay the fuck away from me. Because I'm not making no excuses for they whole ass. I'm not giving them no concessions. None of that. I don't play with motherfuckers who feel entitled to play with other people's lives based on a fucked up head. And if you playing with them, you're going on my list. I'm like, nope. What's their name, bitch? Family member number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, nope. You dealing with them? Nope. 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 I don't do that. Because those type of people put spells on their surroundings, spells on people to do their bidding. They hack their minds. They get in their head and say, I don't want to have to put more than I need to on my list to be taken out. Because I'm done. Oh, Bloomy Bloom just said, oh, I don't even have to go through no changes no more. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna put this down on my list, bitch. It's gonna be that simple. Oh, okay, motherfuckers still calling, playing games. Okay, whoever the fuck the motherfucker is on that. Okay, put their name on their light team. Damn, thank you. Okay. Oh, they still doing rituals. Okay, whoever the fuck they are, I don't care if I don't know them. I want them. Thank you. I sense it. I feel it. I know it. Okay, I want them. Send it back. Send it back. Send it back. Send it back. I'm not playing this game. Kinfolk or not, I'm not playing this game. They want to do still doing shit. Okay. They're still financing this. Okay. Go over there. I want that. I want that. Send it back. Send it back. Send it back. Whatever they've done, whatever they do to me, to mine, continually, I want send it back. Send it back. Send it back. Send it back. Go on over there. That's where I'm at with it. I have no time for this. I'm done. People I know, people I don't. I've made up my mind. Yes, I have. I ask my team about this constantly. I'm like, I've made up my mind. Yes, I did. Every motherfucker that I know or don't know that's fucking with me and my son and what I do and bloom for with their love, they're on my list. It's that damn simple. Because I've spent my time and energy investing in me and my shit. I don't have time and space to go about on other people's shit and weirdy bitch shit. And I don't have no time I don't even care. I have people that I don't like just like everybody else. I got opinions just like everybody else. And I got my own beliefs just like everybody else. But guess what? For the most part, I mind my business. But people get something out of me when they cross my line. You want to fuck with my kid? You're asking. That's a death wish. You didn't sign your own death wish. You signed that shit. You want to fuck with my kid? In the ethers, on earth, on any lifetime, bitch. You wants to fuck with my kid? You done signed your death certificate. That was a death wish. That's what you did. That's how this going down. Ain't playing with these motherfuckers. Still at it? Okay. You just signed, you're signing the documents, you're signing the papers for your ass to be tortured. Because I mind mine with tears, with pain, I take L's, I shake my head like everybody else. I understand shit don't be fair. I move on in life. It's like, fuck it, bitch. Oh, blow know how to create that shit. I ain't the thirsty kind. I'm not the motherfucker. See, they had this shit twisted. I know how to go on. And I ain't got to be stalking and being a weirdo bitch on people's shit. I know how to go on, mind my business, and create my life on my terms. But people want to play in my energy. This is what they're paying for. This is what they will pay for. People who steal in and all that shit. Oh, come on now. You want to steal from me and mine? Well, you just signed your poverty certificate. You want to steal? You want to be a fraud? Okay, you didn't sign. You didn't sign your lot. You just sealed your destiny from stealing from me. You sealed that thing. Stealing from my son. You sealed your fate. Before it's over with. See, I got all the patience in the world for this. I don't care how long it takes. Before it's over. You wants to steal, you wants to copy, you wants to pirate, you wants to do the weird bitch shit. You want, okay, good. Inertia. It's used to seal your fate. You want to torture Divine Feminine and her kids? Well, sorry, unfortunately, you just sealed it in for you and yours. When I talk like that, this is resonating with those of you who are on a similar path. And let me tell you, most are not going to understand that about you. But this is why I keep saying you must know. Because it's easy for anybody to have a view, an opinion about something. Sitting back on their duff, having some kind of view and opinion on some shit they know nothing of. Some shit that they themselves have not experienced. And since they have not experienced, they can't conceive of it. So we have to get to a place also of being able to release that as well. Because everybody talks super spiritual until it is you. Everybody be talking, oh, we just kind of, the way I want to see. I'm like, good. Okay. Very well. Let's line them up. See, this is how I like to do shit, because this is when you put people, fire under their ass. You know what I'm saying? You call motherfucker out on shit. Line them up. Because see, then you can test it. Like, okay, you saying this, but let's test this theory. Bring me your children. Bring them to me. And I want you to sit there and you watch me torture them. And then now you tell me if you finna say a prayer, bitch. Tell me what you finna do, bitch. Let's see when your precious one is in front of you. You have to find what matters to people. Because for some, it's not their children. For some, it's just whatever it is. But find what is precious to them, bring it before them, and torch it. And let's see if they singing a song, bitch. Let's see if they just stand there going, oh, or they finna take motherfuckers the fuck out of here. And then they'll say a prayer later. This is why I say you must know. Because each and every one of us human beings, if we were under the gun, if individuals was threatening your life or the life of your children, your well-being, your business, your work, you're not going to sit back passively and be talking about hallelujah. You ain't finna do none of that. You may do that afterward. You ain't finna do none of that. Whatever's within your means and power to do, that is what you're gonna do. So don't y'all feel nothing. Don't you feel an inkling of nothing because other motherfuckers can't conceive of it. They'll be singing another song when it's their turn. They'll be singing something else when a series of weirdo events is happening for no reason. And then they get the knowledge of what's behind it. They'll be after every last one of them motherfuckers. You heard me? Nobody's going to sit back and allow people to just do shit. The point, that's what I'm trying to make. We return to sender, but beyond that, you guys empower yourself. You know what you're dealing with. Empower yourself on earth. Empower yourself energetically and spiritually. Ready yourself for whatever. You know what you're dealing with. But you have to get tough. I will say it requires, like, the soft part of you may have to go to sleep for a while, so that if it comes down to certain things, you can execute what you need to execute. And not blink. Because like I said, you guys, this shit is deeper than what we think. The people we think are inside of some of these bodies are not even in there anymore. If they had it within their blood and in their mind to actually do harm to you and your children, then apparently who you think is in there is not. They're not. They could have They could have got shit. They could be a clone, bitch. Shit. I see. That's where I'm at with it nowadays. I'm like, bitch. Shit. Well, then now with this night clone, cause this ain't gonna be me. It's gonna be you, motherfucker. This means if you guys got to go to gun ranges, shooting ranges to learn how to actually shoot a gun properly, to be able to handle the power of one. This means getting self-defense classes. They have this kind of stuff all day, every day, so that you can hit trigger points or whatever it is that you may need to do if it comes down to certain things. This is getting restraining orders. This is keeping records. This is, you know what I'm saying, doing your due diligence in terms of, what people are doing, keeping an eye on that. And then keep living. Okay? Keep living. Move on. But take your power. Eh? Eh? It's not a reading. I'm sorry. This is not a reading or Q&A in that respect, but take back your power though. Okay. You're not a victim. You're not, and I'm not saying people didn't do stuff to you, but I'm just empowering you all. Like, you have more power in your hands than you know. But it comes with being not afraid of persecution. But, you're going, this is the hero's path, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to take a licking. You gotta be okay with that. You gotta be okay with being misunderstood. You gotta be okay with judgersons, you know what I'm saying, that the pretentious cunts and fucks that feel like they have a right to sniff around your life and don't know shit. You have to be okay with that. Knowing your heart, knowing who you are, and justice shall prevail. Everybody's got an opinion. I have learned this, you guys. I promise you. Bloomy bloomed and been on various journeys. The path of seeking truth. That has always been my get up. And let me tell you something. No matter what world and arena you're in, everybody's always got a goddamn opinion. You're going to always have some naysayers and professional critiquers that think it's their paid job and life's purpose to sit back and critique somebody else's fucking life. And for those types of people, it's never enough. You're never good enough. It's always something else. This is why I say we got to get past that. Because I've seen this shit. That's why I'm like, it's malarkey. The shit that people are trying to say now, I'm like, it's malarkey. They whole asses wasn't supportive and on that journey, bitch. Nan journey. The organized religious journey, bitch. Church journey, bitch. Nothing. People with their insecurities, their jealousies, and all those things they pretend they don't got in there. This is what drives a lot of people. This is why we have to get okay with that. One person is saying this, and here's another person saying that. Next thing you know, you done lost yourself. You don't even know you spinning. This motherfucker over here say you need to be more like this. This motherfucker say you need to be more like that. This church say you need to be more like this. This church say you need to be more like that. This Reiki master says you need to do this. This Reiki master says you need to do that. They say you need to not look like that. They say you need to dress like that. They say you need to say it like that. They say you shouldn't talk like that. They say you shouldn't fuck they. They ain't shed a nan tear and ain't fencing to empty out their damn bank account to make sure you okay. So fuck they. What do you say? And a lot of what we've been saying to ourselves has been conditioned out of what we have heard for so very long from motherfuckers who's got issues within themselves and projecting this shit onto us. You should be taller. You should be shorter. You should be thinner. You should be thicker. You should have brown hair. You should have black hair. You should have this kind of boob. You should have this kind of ass. What is this shit? Build a bitch? What the fuck? Where's the value of a person? Soul, essence. And people wonder why their shit is raggedy as hell. It's only serving for photo ops, Insta fake, and face hook. But truth be told, raggedy as hell. Can't even stand each other. You do you. And know that there are other people out there that's doing that. I'm one of them. But you got to get a little bit of tough skin, okay? And it's going to shift the vibration. You're going to notice manifestations are different. You're going to notice people are responding a little differently to you too. The more you learn how to love on yourself, the more you get assertive, healthy boundaries, and understanding that no is a complete sentence and that you don't need a PowerPoint presentation to tell now motherfucker about why your no is your no. Why you believe what you believe, why you think what you think, why you feel what you feel. Okay? All right, guys. Self-care is the best care. That's not selfish. We're not talking about being greedy, because I know a whole lot of motherfuckers that's greedy and gluttonous and fucking, you know what I'm saying? That's some of these motherfuckers' issues as well. Okay? Greedy cunts and fucks. Stealing shit. Temporary heartbreak. Yeah. It ain't forever. Okay? Hopefully we learn through this stuff. We grow through it. Ideally, that's hopefully, okay? Ideally, because a lot of people don't. They be in that 9 of Wands energy in tarot. Doing the same shit. Over and over and over and over. They're on fucking Groundhog's Day. Over and over and over. The same playbook. The same shit. And be wondering why, oh, lo and behold, it was only fun for 5 weeks. And now I'm back to the same old dramatic story. Y'all. We got to deal with that stuff. And I know it's a lot to it, but it starts with intention and sincerity and willingness to journey. It starts there. One day, one moment, one breath, and step at a time. This is temporary. Those of you who are in heartbreak, it's temporary. It's temporary. Oh boy, here we go. See, this is the perfect place to close it, because the title says you must know for yourself as you're coming in. We have many soulmates. We have low vibing, we have high vibing. That's the nature of the game on earth. But get into the allowance is the best thing I can tell y'all. The allowance. Release the resistance to things, or the pushing, the making, the all of that. Just, you're manifesting. You can manifest a high level soulmate, and you won't have to put a spell on them. You won't have to beat them over the head. You won't have to do any weird immoral energy. You won't have to go behind their back. You won't have to scheme and scam and all of that kind of shit. It won't be like that. But you have to be healthy and mature enough yourself to even be able to handle it. And allow. Nothing is guaranteed. I know people today that are in analysis paralysis because they're afraid. How is this going to turn out? It may turn out wonderful, but you'll never know it, huh? See, that isn't that the down drop? It may turn out wonderful, but you'll never know it. A part of love and experience in life has been okay with being vulnerable, and that you might get hurt. You might not get exactly what you want, but you can move on and you can keep creating, or you may get, see how this goes. You may get what you want. But how do we find out? How do any of us ever find out? Got to put that, and got to put that heart. You got to say, I'm willing to try. I may get what I want. I may not. I may be accepted. I may not. If I'm not, I can always create something to where I am. Accept your disappointment. Accept your feelings. But you ain't dead. If you ain't dead yet, then it means, ooh, that heart is still beating and you ain't got bit by one of the walking deads. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. Shit, you still on human status. You still got some human in you. You still got some divine energies left in lurking about. Then you can still create something else wonderful. If that's not a fit, then that's not a fit. If they don't, okay. Be upset, okay. Hurt, okay. But okay. Look, okay, for real. I'm finna be gone. I'm finna be done. Oh, bloomy blooms. Recommendations for heartache and breakups. We're human and we all have emotional responses and reactions to feeling betrayed, lied to, cheated on, devastation, breakups. Every last one of us. We've all did the crazy energy, okay, on a lighter note. I ain't talking about the sicko energy. I'm going to say the crazy energy. You're like, what, motherfucker? Oh, you going to hang up in my face, motherfucker? Ugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't all been there like, I'm fixing to boom, bitch. Okay. And you go through that, right? You're like, I'm fixing to show up, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm good for that. Oh, Blue Room was good for that. She gets tough. Like, people will be surprised. It's like, look, I ain't scared. Shit, it's like y'all people thought that, huh? It's like, but nah, bitch. Oh, I'm showing up. Oh, knock knock, bitch. Knock knock, motherfuckers. Right? This is initially, right? And it's within sane parameters. You ain't doing the crazy shit. Like, it's within sanity. Okay? We're not talking about the breaking of the laws and weirdo bitch nigga shit. So you go through that initially. Okay, boom. Then you go home. Because you got to go home, bitch. Okay? So you upset, boom. Oh, you don't say that to me, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You get all of that out, right? You get all of that out. And then you go home. Hear me, y'all. Listen to me. You go home. You cry your tears. You go through whatever range of emotions that you feel with that. But here's my recommendations. Okay, leave it at that. You go home. Once you go home, you do your initial crazy final closing statements. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, right? Then be like, go home, maybe watch a sappy love movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you have to do to process your emotion and the phases and the stages that you're going to go through with that without violating people. That's what sane people do. Sane, regular, normal, sane. They will have their fallout statements. They'll get upset. They'll go there. Those initial breakups, you gonna go there. You fencing to show up. You fencing to roll, bitch. You know what I'm saying? You go there, but then you go home and you go on. Watch a sappy movie. Watch a funny movie. Go out on a date that you're not meaning for it to be nothing, just to have some fun and get out the house. You know what I'm saying? To get a breakup makeover. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna change my get up, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it is that you got to do, okay, to process your range of emotion. Write out a raging, vivid letter and burn it and go outside and be like, I'm burning this bitch. Closure, bitch. Lighter. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, but leave people alone. Don't ruin your life. Hear me where I'm going with this. Don't ruin your life. Because you can't control your emotions. You can't control your own anger. You can't control, you know what I'm saying? And you cross some lines and end up doing some things that it may catch up to you. And in some cases, you know what I'm saying, you may end up getting hurt because the biggest and baddest of us can get taken the fuck down. We don't be the only ones on earth with guns and you know what I'm saying? Like, don't ruin your life behind being brokenhearted, is what I'm trying to say. Because somebody betrayed you, somebody cheated on you, somebody broke up with you, somebody ghosted you, somebody, did you this, did you that. Do your departing, your initial fit, where it's like, oh, I'm a cuss motherfucker. I'm finna to send them a text message, bitch. I don't care. They can put it on block. I'm finna to send one, motherfucker. And they gonna get, you know what I'm saying? You can do all of that at first, right? I'm gonna send them my 5 statements, bitch. My breakup, 5 breakup statements, right? The day you break up. And then go home. Clear your phone out. Get rid of their pictures. Burn their pictures, shit, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever things you need to do. But save your life. Consider yourself. Consider your children. And also, not only that, if it's done and it's over for whatever the reason, then if they wronged you, then they don't even deserve no more energy at that point. Okay? Acceptance, process grief, all of that, and then just go. But I'm only saying this, I know it's a common sense, somebody may be saying, but it ain't that common, because I know a whole lot of people that fucked up their lives behind not knowing how to handle no. Not knowing how to handle somebody saying, I don't want to be with you anymore. I didn't heard that, you know what I'm saying? And you go on. You have your fig, you say what you gotta say, and you go on. You're like, okay, and you live and you create. I promise you, that's what I did. People wouldn't stay out of my energy. And see, this is where things got interesting, because people wouldn't stay out of my energy. If people would have stayed out of my energy, a whole lot of shit would have happened differently. But you just go on. You don't risk fucking up your life and possibly that of your kids, because if something happened to you or you end up going to jail because you being stupid, you know what I'm saying, behind a motherfucker that ain't worth shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, go, if you have a home girl, homeboy, go, shoot the breeze. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, whoop. But don't do something that you're gonna have to live with one day, some type of karmic ramification, even if it's slow in the making, because this is what throws people off. In a fit of rage, in a fit of being mad, in a fit of whatever, doing this, doing that, being quick to jump and do some dumb shit, and it seems like there's no ramification for it. And then a year later, why is this shit happening? Why is this and this? Why is this and that? A year and a half, 2 years. Why is this? Let's trace it back. Let's trace it back. What did you do in a fit of rage? How did you handle a breakup in another situation? What did you partake in because you was mad? Did you allow yourself to get caught up in some teenage bullshit and you 1,000 years old? You let people get you caught up in the thither and was quick to do some shit that you got to pay for? Because it's going to come. And this is why I'm telling y'all, look, and I can relate. I can relate to shit, but this is why I talk the way I talk. Nobody is worth this. Nobody is worth, and I mean this in respectfully. Listen to me. Nobody is worth you ruining your life, is what I'm implying here. I'm not saying that they don't have value. I'm saying that there is no soul or individual or human walking that is worth you possibly ruining your life and your children's life behind some poor decisions out of a fit of rage. Or because you don't like somebody. We all got somebodies that we don't like, but it serves us to get a rein on that. Because somebody's talking about me. Well, we all have people. You see where I'm going with this? Who alive can say that they don't have somebody that's talking about them or spreading lies or gossiping about them? Every human walking, chances are, got motherfuckers yapping out the mouth. But that is life, though. It's life. And it serves us to learn how to hone in our energy so that we don't mess around and ruin our life because we mad. We don't like them. We don't like what they said. In some of the cases, we didn't provoke the shit to begin with. So it's like it's a reality check. Have we provoked things? Like, this is grown up shit right here. Have you provoked some things? What energy have you invested? Teaming up against people, it was what's costing some people right now. And Oblumi has done her part and continues to do her part. No one will be able to say they were not educated about something. They were not in the know. They were not informed. They were not this. There will be no one that will be able to slide out on something like that. It's going to be, nah, bitch. You didn't want to. We live by the decisions we make, y'all. This is why it serves us to start minding the decisions that we are making, whether it's for people we like, love, or not. Because I promise you, you're going to live with it. There is going to be ramification. Now, if we're making good decisions, if we're being benevolent, if we're operating in love frequency, if we're minding our business, if we're learning how to control our own energy, if we're learning how to take an L like a relatively healthy person and go on in life and not try to do crazy nigga bitch shit, then we'll reap some benefits of that, the higher side of it. But if we still on that teenage shit and we 500 years old, we got mental problems and we still doing dumb crazy shit, we still calling ourselves doing that, we will eat that as well. Overcoming our own ego, the lower mind. I don't want to win nothing that damn bad. My win is in my truth and in my soul's journey. That's my win. That's always been my win, and that's going to always be my win. Well, you all hear from me. When y'all hear me go on tangents and I'm on to the left status, that's defense. That's me standing for justice. But it has absolutely nothing with an inability to let motherfuckers go. I have learned mastery of letting shit go. Mastery of letting people go, including my kinfolk, lovers, and anyone else. So this has nothing to do with that for me. My war is about justice, about the shit that's being done, was done to me and my son, and my journey, period, point blank. And that's where I'm going to give motherfuckers sheer hell. Down to my last breath. I have warned, my team has warned people to leave me alone. And my son alone. And my business alone. So for those who are insistent upon continuing on, then I'm not stuttering and I'm not blinking at their demise. They refuse to quit, so that means they're willing to accept what they get. Groups, organizations, people, and all such. People I know, people I don't. Kinfolk, non-kinfolk. And you have the right to do that too, collective. Because you have a right to be you and to be left alone. And if people don't want to do that, you have a right to execute justice. Oh, it's okay. I got you. I understand. Like, it's returning all those energies back. I mean, because that's essentially what we do. It's taking all of that energy they've invested and it's sending it back. But it's also, we have to enact our will in that. There's a collaboration that takes place. Okay, we're not to just sit passively. So there's like a participation with it, but it's essentially, that's what's really happening. You're just rerouting it. And then you go deeper than that. So lately I've been doing some other things with codes and stuff like that to deal with the roots and to deal with it a little bit even deeper than that, even past returning to sender. Somebody said 1010 here where you're at, 1010 here. Wow. Yeah, that's the ending of cycles, right? Ending of cycles, new beginnings, wheel of fortune, right? Destiny. But y'all just understand there is a difference between you defending and standing up for yourself and healing and moving on and that, I call it that divine anger, that Shekhem energy. That's different. That has nothing to do with, the thirsty bitch energy. The thirsty bitch energy is about, whether it's a man or a woman, that's about somebody that just cannot accept, no, they can't accept that something's done and over and then they're getting up in an upward. That's not Shekhem. That's somebody needing to learn how to accept that something's done, even if when you don't want it to be. And even if you feel like it's wrong and unfair, people interfered in my shit. It was wrong and unfair. There was a whole lot of shit at play that played out in my love life that was beyond just this 3D shit. But at the end of the day, it still comes down to this. The path is a journey. And that allowance and order is like, okay, yeah, there was foul play, but you still got to be big and bad enough to accept shit. Like, okay, this shit happened. Life goes on. You be mad, you have some kind of feelings, that's fine. But you don't become one of them, you don't get weird. It's like, damn, bitch. I'm never going to understand that. As long as I'm here on earth, I'm not going to understand that. I'll understand that when I cross over, perhaps. Because I'm like, ooh. When we're young, when you're 10, 11, 12, 13, you know what I'm saying? That teenage young shit. We're not talking about that. We're talking about grown asses. Grown old ass. Old asses. Okay? That should know better. Because that's when your self-worth kick in, bitch. You see, when you realize, like, damn, bitch. I ain't doing no damn spell, motherfucker. What the hell? Anywho, I'm just chatting and running my mouth. I'm supposed to get going because otherwise I'm going to keep on yapping and I got stuff to do, bitch. Lord have mercy, y'all. But take care of yourself out there. Take care of yourself, okay? You have to know for you. And look at your circle of people, your go-tos, and reevaluate your go-tos, okay? Because some of us got some go-tos that we thought was them ride or dies, that we thought we held in high honor, and they was behind fucking your shit up. We have to learn how to evaluate our circle. Okay, people that you're sharing shit with, because sometimes we're sharing shit with people and they're sabotaging you at the same time. You tell them, I want to marry them. I'm thinking about marrying them. I want to marry them. You better watch who you telling that shit to. Because you may have a jealous cunt on your hands. And they'll pose that shit like, oh, I just care about you, I'm just really, I'm so concerned. Oh my God. They are so crazy. They're so crazy. They be got on two left shoes, bitch. I'm talking about somebody crazy. If you were to see them in an energy world, their eyes would be crossed, bitch. They're so not okay. They need to get their head examined. Their head been gone long time ago. You gotta learn how to look past the surface. Cause you got a lot of crazy out there with fancy outfits. You gotta know how to read shit. You gotta learn to look past the outfit. You got crazy motherfuckers out there. You gotta learn how to look past the label. Know what people really bring to the table. You gotta look beyond the surface. You got crazy underneath it. Narcissists like to project shit. They project their mental illness. You gotta learn to look beyond the labels. And they project it onto the eccentric ones that are not afraid to be legit. It's a cowardly move, but that's what most people do. Let's project it onto the eccentric one, the ones that's not bowing down to the status quo, to what we call normal. This will save you. Start feeling into energy, okay? All right, guys, love and light. I don't know if I'm going to get this on the YouTube. I'm going to try to get, I still got 2 readings to get up to the YouTube. Oh my God. I did 2 already. I thought I uploaded 2 things, but I think I got 2 more. We'll see. I'm going to try to get some uploaded tonight. If not, I'm going to do the best I can tomorrow I'll have a little bit more time. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Yep, I'll have a little bit more leeway. So I'll probably get to do the more uploads tomorrow to my YouTube, okay? All right, you're very welcome. Those of you who are here, thank you for stopping by. If you're here in Love and Light, thank you for listening to old Bloomy Bloom run off at the mouth. But I hope y'all get something out of that, though. Okay? All right, you guys. Namaste.